Hi, this is Grace from TGC Studio, and I'm going to be showing you the process I went through in creating this model horse. Alright, to start off, you're going to need a prepped and primed model horse. I am using the Arabian Thunder model. I'm using these Liquitex Basics acrylic paints in titanium white and Mars black to mix 3 different shades of gray that I will use to airbrush. I'm using the Neo for Iwata airbrush. This is a great beginner's brush. I highly suggest it if you're starting out. Alright, to start off with, I am using that light gray, and I'm just going to be doing a base coat on the entire horse. Pretty solid, not focusing on any shading, just a solid base coat of a light gray. Alright, here's the model after that first base coat of light gray. I left all of the legs and the muzzle white because I know for sure there's going to be white markings there, and it's just going to make it a lot easier later. Now I'm taking that medium gray and going in and darkening up a lot of the horse, incorporating some shading but not going too crazy because this horse is going to be a roan. Here's the horse after that second coat. It's significantly darker than before, which is good, but still not quite dark enough to my preference. So I will be going back in one more time to darken it. It has some shading as well. Now I'm going in with just pure black to darken the horse up even more and have more dramatic shading. I am done airbrushing the horse now. It's dark enough, it has good shadings to my liking, so now we'll be moving on to white markings. For white markings, I use the Folk Art Craft Paint in Ivory White. I prefer this over titanium white because I think it looks a little bit more natural. Now I am thinning the paint down so it's a good consistency that no brush marks will show, but you will have to do lots of layers of this white. Here I'm starting at the top of the leg and moving upward. Using a reference picture is great, just don't follow it too closely because you want to make the horse your own, of course. Here's the horse with its finished white markings. I did about 16 coats of that thinned out white in order to get enough coverage to not have any brush markings. Now it does look a little unnatural because next I will be going in and adding that mapping in on the outside to smoothen out that harsh line. For the mapping, I'm going to be using this Master's Touch liner paintbrush. I think it works great, it's super fine. For doing mapping, I do short downward strokes on the edge of the white paint, making sure that the top of those lines do not match up with each other. Sometimes I will have to go over it more than once just to get a rich enough color. what it looks like all done. The mapping definitely softens up that harsh line and makes the horse look a lot more natural. Next up is roaning. I'm using a white Prisma colored pencil and doing short strokes following a natural hair pattern on a horse. If you're not very familiar with this hair pattern, it might be wise to have a reference picture opened while you do this step. Also, don't fear if the hair strokes look really bold right now. We're going to go back in and fix that later. Here's the horse after that first step of roaning is all done. It does look pretty crazy right now, but that's okay, we're going to fix that in the next step. I'm still fairly new to roaning, and after completing this model I realized I probably could have done the pencil lines even smaller to make them look a little more natural, like fine hair. Now, to soften up those pencil lines, I'm simply just taking a tissue and rubbing it across all of the places that I roaned until it's to my liking. Now you can tell after doing that the lines are a lot softer. Now you can do more or less blending depending on what the look you're going for, but I felt pretty happy with what I had here. Now for the mane, I'm using 4 different colors that I'm going to be blending together in a sort of ombre effect. I realized I forgot to film this process, so here's just video of what it looks like at the end. I did the same process on the tail as well. I'm using Liquitex Soft Body Acrylic in unbleached titanium and raw sienna for the hoofs. And then for the eyes, I'm using the Liquitex Basics in burnt umber, as well as the Folk Art Pure Black. For the eyes, I start with that dark brown. I'm covering most of the eye, but not all of it, leaving a little bit of white in the back corner. After the brown is done, I go in with the black and do an oval in the middle of the eye for the pupil. Unfortunately, I forgot to film this process as well. For the hooves, I start with the base in that unbleached titanium. Then I coat it over one more time. While it's wet, I go in with the raw sienna right at the top of the hoof and blend that raw sienna down. I like to create an ombre here as well, with the top of the hoof being the darkest and the tip being the lightest. Now for one of the final touches, I'm going in and airbrushing a sort of fleshy color around the muzzle and hand painting it around the eye as well. To finish the horse off, I'm going to be sealing it with matte finish. I use the Golden brand in satin. And here's how the horse came out. I'm pretty happy with this one. A lot of hours went into it, but very happy with how it came out. This model is available on my Etsy shop, TGC Studio, so if you're interested in purchasing it, it is available there for you. If there's anything in this video you'd like explained in greater detail or just have tutorial suggestions, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.